Hello everyone and welcome. This video is going to be a what sold for me on the various platforms that I sell on for the week of April 8th until April 14th. And I am happy to report that I actually have 3 platforms to share with you, and I sold quite a few things, so maybe also get a snack and or a drink because this might be a little bit of a longer video. I'm going to scoot over here and we are going to start with Facebook Marketplace first. Now, the reason why I have like 3 platforms to share with you is because y'all know something happened to my eBay account, and I have been thus cross-posting a lot more on to Poshmark and Facebook Marketplace. What I'm doing is I'm taking my old eBay listings that are over 30 days old and have over 100 views. I'm delisting them and selling similar on eBay, and then also cross-posting them manually. I do not use a cross-posting service to Poshmark and to Facebook Marketplace. So it is working, and these sales show that. So the first sale I'm going to share with you on Facebook Marketplace is this vintage Indiana glass, milk glass, diamond point vase. I had this listed for a very long time, and it finally sold as soon as I cross-posted it over to Facebook Marketplace for $10. All of my sales on Facebook I have as the buyer pays for shipping. So they paid for shipping, and I'm super glad it sold like literally within a day of me cross-posting it over to Facebook. Speaking of, this is something that also sold in less than a day after I cross-posted it to Facebook Marketplace. It is this vintage 90s Jaclyn Smith, like I put cottagecore in the title. Sold for $15, and super happy. This I cross-posted the same day, and it also sold the same day. This is another vintage from the 90s Susan Bristol t-shirt. It's a white t-shirt with some embroidery on it. I put cottagecore in the title. Both of those sold immediately, which I was super shocked by. Like, I woke up the next morning after I cross-posted them that night, and both had sold. So both sold for $15. I've heard some information from other resellers that do sell on Facebook Marketplace, like that is the cheap place. So like if you're trying to sell something for $15 or less, it seems to move pretty well over on Facebook. At least that's what I'm coming to find out. So Miss Moxie, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to move you, and I have to come over. Moxie. Man, she looks so grumpy. Come over here so we can share Poshmark sales. So the first Poshmark sale that I'm going to share with you is actually an awesome Poshmark sale, at least in my opinion. I sold this Anchor Hawking vintage from the 2000 Fire King line. So in the year 2000, for the millennia, Anchor Hawking decided to re-release several pieces of the Jadeite line, and this is one of them. If this was an original piece, not from the Fire King 2000 time period, this would have been worth more, but it sold for $48, and on Poshmark the buyer pays for shipping. So glad this sold over on Poshmark, and I'm sure the buyer was too, because this would have cost way more than like the $7+ that Poshmark charges for shipping. So this went off to a new home. Super excited about that. Also very excited about this sale, only because like I've had it for forever. I got these Forever 21 shoes out of a ThredUp shoebox, and they took an exceptionally long time to sell, even though they were new. But they sold for $15 on Poshmark, and I was so stoked when I saw that I saw that sale go through. And yeah, really happy about this one. And then some kind individual bought one of my Hair and Bob partner mugs, so I do have these both on eBay and on Poshmark for sale. This is my own merch for my Twitch stream. Someone paid $10 for it, and then they actually bought this during one of the hours. So Poshmark is doing this new thing where they like will pick an hour a day, and it's like the power hour, and they do discounted shipping for that hour, and they took advantage of that and bought one of my mugs. So thank you very much if you are watching this for purchasing this mug for me. And then Miss Moxie, I'm so sorry, we're gonna do this again, so that way everybody gets gratuitous Moxie face, and also you can still be next to me the whole time, because you have to be for some reason. All right, and then we're moving to eBay, which is still my main bay despite the hiccup that happened at the end of this week. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll link that video up above. but I sold this vintage 90s Billabong pair of shorts. It did have a little bit of distressing on the bottom of one of the legs. I just closed that. It still sold for $15.50 and the buyer paid $4.50 for shipping. This item was a recent acquisition for me. It sold within like a week of me purchasing after posting that video, so super excited about that. Like I said in the video, it is short season, so if you have shorts in your death pile, I would recommend listing them because they are moving very quickly. This is a vintage rustler piece. You guys know I love selling my pearl snaps. Doesn't matter the brand, I still seem to be able to sell them. But this sold for my full asking price of $16.87 and the buyer paid for shipping. From that same haul as the Billabong shorts, this is a pair of Huck Performance fishing shorts. It sold for $20 on offer and the buyer paid $4.50 for shipping. Again, less than a week, super excited about that. This is a pair of Rewash brand jeans. I do not recommend picking this up. This came to me in a thread-up denim box, and I finally got around to listing it during my de-hoarding. I believe this pair was in Moxie's nest. So thank you for giving up your nest so I can make money. But it sold for $9 and the buyer paid $6 for shipping. So super glad that it's gone, and I'm really glad that the stuff is moving now that I've listed it from de-hoarding. For those of you curious, yes, I'm going to go back to making those videos. I just had some other things that I wanted to take care of first, but more de-hoarding videos are coming. This is a copy of Ender's Game that I had picked up and reviewed on my book channel. If you are interested in vintage books or books in general, I do have another channel. I will link that up above. But I picked this up for super cheap at like $1 and I sold it for $2.87 and the buyer paid medium mail for shipping. I got a lovely message for this person, so I do hope your teenager loves it, and thank you for buying it from me. But this was a really great book and I definitely want to find a hardcover of this book because I want to own it. A little bit of a snob where I try, the majority of my library is all hardcovers. So if it's a vintage book that I review for my channel and I enjoy it, I try to find the hardcover and then let the paperback move on to a new home. Just trying to spread the book love. Speaking of spreading the book love, I sold this this Star Trek book for $3.87. I paid $1 for this at a Goodwill, and it sold for my full asking price and the buyer paid for shipping. So this is the second JP and Maddie piece that I sold. As you can see, I also modeled this one. JP and Maddie is sold in the Sundance catalog, and it's also a brand that I will be on the lookout for. I actually picked up both JP and Maddie pieces for less than $1 at an estate sale in Smithfield. I got an opportunity to pick the leftovers from an estate sale and name my price. And I did not realize these were so valuable. Both of them sold for my full asking price and both of them sold for $29.87. This one did take a little bit longer than the blue one to sell, but I will be looking out for this brand and I'm very happy. That's a very nice profit. Again, the third pair of shorts from that one haul sold within a week of me listing it for $18 and the buyer paid $6 for shipping. So I picked up 3 pairs of shorts in that one haul. All 3 went within a week. Super excited about that. This is something that I received in a thread-up men's box. This is a Banana Republic linen long sleeve shirt. It's plain AF, but it's still sold for $11 and the buyer paid $4.50 for shipping. Linen is something I do very much enjoy wearing, and I also like selling it because even in these, you know, mall brands or lesser tiered brands or less expensive brands, they are having a higher quality material like linen will still convey some value. So if you get something like this at the bins for $1 or at an estate sale for like $1, you can still turn a decent profit. At least I've come to discover that. That is how it works out for me. This I was very sad to see go, but you know what? That's part of the rotating reseller closet. I didn't even get a chance to wear this. It sold on offer for $14.50 and the buyer paid for shipping. This is something that I had put in the rotating reseller closet, hoping to wear it until it sells. Unfortunately, it has been very cold here in Virginia, on and off, so I was hoping to get a few wears in the springtime, but that didn't happen. But Athleta dress. I paid $3.50 for this at a Goodwill, so still pretty nice. Would I pay the $8 that dresses normally are for this dress to flip it for this price? No, but for $3, yes. This next piece is another less than $1 piece for me. I would not recommend picking up Izod unless it is new with tags and unless you get it for super cheap. I paid less than $1 for this at the Air Force Retirees estate sale, and it was new with tags, which is the only reason why I picked it up. Sold for my full asking price of $9.87, and the buyer paid for shipping. So this would be the only instance that I would do this, and it worked out for me. This, I'm sure Farmer Wayne will never watch my YouTube video, but this man left me the loveliest message after receiving this Flint Eco saucepan, and talking about his mom. This was his mom's set, and he saw this and wanted to get another saucepan because he has fond memories of her, and it was a lovely message. And if you do not know, if you are new to my channel, hello, I'm Bob. One of the things I do is I really love selling vintage ceramics, glass, and cookware because of the fact that it gets smashed and trashed in my area, both at estate sales and at the thrift stores, and that's really tragic to me. So I will pick up lower value items for glass and ceramic just to save them and to find them hopefully another home. I know not all resellers do that. Totally cool if that's not your bag. It is mine. And messages that I receive, like the one I got from Farmer Wayne about pieces like this, are the reason why I do that, and it really made me happy. So he bought it for my full asking price of $14.87, and he also paid $12 for shipping. So it's really lovely. I still have one piece from this set. Like I said, the last what sold video for these pieces, I at 3 different estate sales picked up one piece of this set from 3 different estate sales, and the only one that hasn't sold is the only one that isn't listed yet. So happy about that. Unbelievably happy about that. This is a piece from my de-hoarding of my house. This came from my kitchen. This is a vintage otagiri individual casserole dish. It was really surprising to me when I figured out what this was. Otagiri isn't always marked otagiri on the bottom. They were previously and also marked as OMC, so Otagiri Mercantile Company. So if you see something with a sticker or marked OMC, it is also otagiri. It's not necessarily only going to have the full spell out as well, but I was really surprised that that's what this was. This is in the bittersweet pattern, so if you see something in this kind of like brown speckled dishware with this like berry design, is probably otagiri. This did have a sticker on it that had the OMC on it, which is why I was able to figure out what this was. But most people remove the stickers after if they're going to use it, so I lucked out here. Another vintage book. This is something I picked up recently at, I did a book haul on my book channel. I actually found 2 vintage copies of Starship Troopers. Yes, like the movie. This is what the book that movie is loosely based off of. I picked up 2 copies, each of them for less than $1, and this one sold pretty much the day I had released that book haul saying that I was going to sell one of the copies, so I'm guessing someone there bought it. He bought it for my full asking price of $5.87 and paid for shipping, so I'm glad to have spread some vintage book love out into the world. It's really cool. It is on my to be read list, but I have a couple other books on there before I get to that one. Again, something else from my de-hoarding. This was also in Moxie's Nest. This sold for $19.90, and the buyer had a flat rate for shipping. This I picked up in a ThredUp denim box. So actually no, it's lucky. So this one I picked up in a ThredUp men's box. So cool. Glad it's gone. This is a Nike like tank top, crop top, sports bra type deal. And I picked this up for like $2.50 at a Goodwill, and it sold for $9, and the buyer paid for shipping. It sold within less than 6 weeks of me listing it. This is something else that I got for like $2 at a Goodwill. It's a Sims gray shirt. This actually sold one time before. Buyer never paid. this buyer actually did pay, and it sold for $10 and they paid for shipping. Same time I picked up that Nike sports bra, I also picked up this Athleta top for $2.50 and it sold for $10 and the buyer paid for shipping. Again, I'm more than happy to do this bread and butter stuff all day long, especially if it's going to move pretty quickly. And for me, pre-owned clothing taking less than 6 weeks to sell is pretty quickly. This is another thing that sold multiple times and the buyer never paid, to the point where I had to block them. Because this person kept sending me an offer and I would accept it. I accepted it the first time and they said that they had a problem with their card, and I was like, okay, well, my store is, if you don't pay for it 4 days, it gets relisted and it gets canceled and relisted. They did that to me 3 times, and so after the 3rd time I blocked them. So they're not able to purchase from my store anymore. Maybe that's a little harsh, but you wasted like 3 weeks of my time. So, and never paid it, and then kept sending me messages about it. I don't have time for that. Somebody did send me an offer of $12. I did check to make sure it wasn't the same person and that they didn't make another account to get this hat. So whoever bought this, thank you so much. Paid $12 for it and also shipping. This is another thing from a recent thrift haul. It's the same haul that I got all of those shorts from. This is a vintage Ray Spooner Hawaiian shirt and it sold on offer for $18 and the buyer paid $5 for shipping. So really happy about that. Most everything from that haul has sold. If I've listed it, it's sold almost. This is something I delisted and sold similar, and it sold within 24 hours of me delisting it and selling similar on eBay. This is a vintage Noritake Nippon piece. It's an ashtray from a hotel that is in Japan, and it sold for $6.90 and the buyer paid for shipping, and it did go to an individual who is Japanese, which I thought was really nice. This is something I do not recommend picking up. This came in a thread-up t-shirt box, which is the only reason I have it, and I was just trying to get as much money out of that box as possible. It sold for $7.90 and the buyer paid for shipping. This is going back to New York, which I thought was kind of cool. And the last item I have to share with you for this what sold video is this Billabong shirt. I picked this up in my collab with Matt, Amber, and a lot of Josh. Billabong is one of the brands that is in the manifesto. It has a moderate sell-through, but their board shorts do actually have a decent sell-through for me, and these interesting shirts also normally do pretty well too. So it sold for $11.90 and the buyer paid for shipping, and I paid like $4 for this at a Goodwill. So super happy. That's quite a lot of sales, I will say. I think I am on track, even with the hiccup with my eBay store, to sell over 100 items again this month, which, big excite. Thank you guys so much for watching this girthy what sold video. I do hope you enjoyed it, and that I am still sharing every single I am still sharing every single sale with you, because the small and the large are what are paying my bills right now, and it just shows you that it doesn't matter what it is that you like to sell, you can possibly make money from it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Easter, and I will see you guys in a couple days for another video. Bye! Bye.